Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, what a week we've got for you this week. 6 outstanding maps, very, very different. 1 or 2 from the top creators, 1 or 2 from new creators, and a real mix in between as well. You're going to be inspired by a few of these ones, and you might even be inspired tonight if you want to join me at approximately 7 o'clock UK time. We'll be having a look at the top performing map of this very moment live. It's Anhaven Keys, a vanilla map by Sid. So put that one in your diary for tonight, 7 PM UK time, or just a little bit after. We'll have a little look at that one live. Right, so we've got plenty to get excited about this week. How are we going to support the channel? If only there was some kind of clue I could give you. Ah, that's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's first map of 6 is Monterey by Alex, and it's
my first map.
That's right. And they've got a little bit of help on this map from a name you're definitely going to recognise. The map itself is inspired by Marble Mountain and Oceania from $2.20, and all the credit of Alex, it really does show. We've got a top creator that's doing the inspiring, and well, Alex has really shone. This really does feel just like those 2 maps. Beautifully done. We're using a theme mix, which is the Not So Rocky Hills, the Springwood theme, the Stray Cats Territory Homecoming, Australia Coast and Relight Neutral, and it's, other than that, 100% vanilla. So if you're looking for a strong vanilla map, this is exactly that, a very strong vanilla map, and there's where you can start building. We've got some really lovely terrain, a hint of dryness to it, a little hint of dryness. Not really surprising because the original hype map was taken from San Rafael in the San Francisco Bay area. And again, it's been done just about right. Some people might want it a little bit more detailed. I would argue that it's about on point for exactly what you really want on the workshop without going too overboard. You could score more points if you want to over beautify it, but is it always about having the ultimate? I would say it's not really. But yeah, we've got some really good terrain work, some really good tree work. Again, not next level tree work, doesn't need to be. This map just sells itself. And on top of that, we've got a little help from Teddy Radko. Remember Teddy Radko? Well, you should. They're the one that have been doing all of these lovely vanilla bridges, taking the vanilla assets and making a bridge which looks like it's a custom bridge off of the workshop. This is 100% vanilla and 100% Teddy Radko, and I applaud it. It's just another take on the bridge where you go, how the heck did they make that? And not only that, but how do they make it so well? Haven't quite worked that second part out. I know how they made it so well. Yeah. Lots of time, I imagine, and perfect height for the shipping to pass underneath as well, as you can see there. Got some very nice rivers. This one's a little bit stop-starts, just a wee little bit lumpy bumpy. It's away from the start, the 25 tiles. It's just a little, but it is within the playable zone, I would suggest. So perhaps this river could be just a little bit fine-tuned. It was only that little short stretch that I showed you as well. Plenty of lovely buildable space in that start square area, and a really good laid out harbour area with rail running into it as well. I've got to say, I like a lot of the work that's going on there. In fact, I like a lot about this map, full stop. It's kept fairly simple, it's done to very, very crisp, high standards, and it looks and feels about right. So it's going to score really very highly with me indeed. The aesthetics could be a little higher for me, but it's exactly on point for what it needs. And do you know what? All told, I feel it's definitely worthy of a BonBonB seal of approval. So we're going to give it one of those right there. Monterey by Alex. Outstanding work. Thank you so much. The second map today is the longest waiting creator request map. It is actually available to watch as a recorded live stream, as I missed a little nod from Stalker that this had to be made available to all. So we have gone and done that. We've got a few little quirky outside connections. These are slightly less quirky than the last map that we looked at from Stalker. Stalker's done some really interesting work in the past, and this one I think is arguably their best map. I would say it's not going to suit for everybody, but you can see we have outside connections actually on the island, so you will have traffic flowing without having to place down harbours. It's just a really strong feel. We're using the Power Valley theme with the really warm LUT, and it gives it a very strong aesthetic, a real dark. I mean, it's called Blackrock, right? And it's called Blackrock because the rocks are meant to be black, and we do get a real richness out of the textures and the colours. And again, if that's what they were looking for, that's what they were looking for, and they've definitely achieved it. It's not the world's biggest playable area, necessarily not the most exciting, but what it is a map. If you like what you're looking at, you're going to have quite a good time. We've got the volcano in the middle as well, including this little dry area as well. Again, we've got mixed biomes. It seems to be the flavour of the year, and again, these have been done really very well indeed. A few little interesting little featurette areas as well, which do make the map pop a little bit, and an interesting coast with some, again, lightly done fields, a little bit of field drawing there with fake hedges, strong forests if you want strong forests, and an interesting, a long curved coast. It does feel ready for building on. Here's that fantasy volcano. I have no problems with this whatsoever. I think it looks very good indeed. And again, all credits to Stalker for actually getting the scaling on this just about right, I would say. So fantastic work there. But yes, featurette areas. We have of course the big old volcano. We have an outside connection just down there as well, tucked away in the cave. We have outside connections tucked in underneath the everybody's favourite factories. So there you go. Again, looks really good as well. The vanilla detailing there, just a little bit different from what we normally see. And we have got some sort of, radar detection area. 100% vanilla. And again, I've not seen anything quite like that. So all credit for producing something that I've not seen before. And I've seen a lot of things. I have seen a lot of things. And just a little construction area going on there too. Credit for that. And also we've got the peace sign drawn out in standing stones there. And down here we've got the Essential Lighthouse with another outside connection tucked underneath it, so the people will walk up the path to join you from this fake little harbour area, including the floating cafe, which thanks Dork for letting me know about that one. This is 100% vanilla as well. I did not know that, completely blissfully unaware, and it's a lovely little thing and lovely little addition to the map. So yes, it's a strong island map, not necessarily the biggest, plenty of buildable space on it though, some interesting featurette areas and a strong volcano in the middle. It's gonna please some people, and for those people I would say just get in there and have a lot of fun with it. It's not the most exciting map in the world, but it's nothing wrong with it, and so I'm scoring it around about that 4-star point, high 3s to low 4s across the board. Blackrock by Stalker. Next up, a name that you're going to recognise, it's Anoupou, Merynetjerou, former Map of the Year creator. This one, Mobolo-Bolo, is absolutely breathtaking. It's one of those true fantasy maps of the top level from a top creator, that if you're looking for an Icania style map, remember Icania, an Icania style map, this is a creator who's basically taken over the mantle from Icania, the late great. We miss you, Icania. We miss you, but with Anoupou holding the candle for you, we're going to be doing very well indeed. Striking mountains, really nicely designed map as well. Now this was one of 3 maps to be the 50,000th map of the year. Monterey was the one that I spotted as the 50,000th map. This one was definitely the first map to be the 50,000th on the workshop, so you can take that credit. There's no doubting about this one in my mind, especially as it was kind of forced. Anoupou made a whole bunch of maps, tiny little ones, just to force those numbers up and become the 50,000th map with this one. There's your start square. Looks very inviting to me, thank you. Lots of great work on this one. Lots of little rocky areas, lots of little island areas. great little coastlines as well. There's only one part on the map which just draws me away, and when I say draws me away, it's not even worth talking about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway when we get down there. When you see it, you can say, look, BonBon, there's nothing wrong with that, and I would agree, there's nothing wrong with it. But in terms of giving this an all-star map status, and it really got so close, this one, to getting an all-star map status, just one little coast of rugged coastline that I just didn't 1,000,000% buy into. And so look at the waterfalls. Everything about this map is 5 stars, and that's what I would give it if I was just giving it an overall score. But breaking things down and being petty, because I'm always petty, and that's why you love it here, don't you? Look at this, look at this. Some of that sand painting I wasn't sure about, went down, had a look, totally believe it, totally believe it. So anyway, there's all of that. And then have we got that rugged bit of coast? Yeah, this little bit of rugged coast here. Just this little section here. I'm not so sure. I think we need a little bit more rugged land, slightly more inland to make that work for me. Now, this is a French coast. It's a French creator, the Flying Tricolore there. Well defended from, oh, who would invade a beautiful island like this? Well, only the biggest grief in the world. They're the worst. They really are the worst. Over here on this island, they're getting ready to invade. Who could it possibly be? Well, if it's the French, they're going to be very, very concerned about Rule Britannia. Yes, it's the Union flag there. We look completely trashed, by the way. It looks like it's been completely bombed from the other side of the channel there. Not only is it a little English camp, if we pull the camera back, you're going to make out that it is actually the United Kingdom. Look at this. The British Isles, I say the United Kingdom. The British Isles, Ireland's in there as well. Even a nod to the Isle of Man. Good to see. It's a beautiful map. It's a great fantasy map. And Anoupou has absolutely won with this one. Again, the only reason why it's not getting all-star status is that little bit of coastline that I don't totally buy into. But other than that, it's pristine and should be played instantly by everybody. And it's going to get the BonBonB seal of approval, clearly. Right, we'll come back with a few more maps right after this brief intermission. See you in a moment. And so back with the second set of 3 maps. Now this one's a little bit striking in all the right ways. It's Aloma River by Jar. Now you could argue it could do with a bit more work. I would say yes, it probably could. But is it always about having a finished map? And I would say the answer is definitely no to that. This map is made in the World Machine. It's called Aloma River. It's by Jar. Did I say that? I'm not sure. We're using the not-so-rocky European theme mixed in with Stray Cats Territory Nature Reserve, Springwood and Coos Bay. Also, little things like intersection marking tool, the no controller, the the NAR rail tracks, and all those bits and pieces are in the map as well. What holds the map back just a little bit is a lack of care and interest with the tree painting. That's basically it. If you imagine this map with somebody spending a few hours on the tree painting, this map's going to pop a lot more than it does. That said, it's a very interesting map to start off with. And again, if you look at this and you like what you see, you are definitely going to want to get in here and to play it. It's a little bit undulatory. Some of the hills are a little bit on the large side. Having played with it very, very briefly in the live stream, to the BonBonBuddies, I took out a chunk of the hill directly in front of us with no care and the complete disregard, and instantly the map felt a lot more playable and a lot more interesting. So I think there's, again, but we've gone with the World Machine. The World Machine is what made this map, and kind of feels like cheating if you're going to be making wholesale changes because you don't like a hill. We've got, say, very strong rail. They're now working on this map. The rail is very, very strong. The roads are fine. It's a fairly interesting shape on the roads as well, and again, done to a pretty decent standard. All told, it's a bold map with an interesting shape and a slightly underdeveloped treescape. But if you like the shape of it, it will make for an interesting play, and it will make for some very interesting backdrops with the hills in the background, because the theme mix is very strong. Here's that NAR rail. It just looks very, very good because, well, the NAR rail is indeed very, very good. Bold hills, so you can see here we got bold hills, loving the cliffs, and again, just slightly, for me, slightly let down by, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the tree painting, it's just not done with any real degree of care. We've kept most of the trees off of the cliff faces and most of them out of the water, and that's about as far as it's gone. The rest of it does feel a little bit spammed, just a little bit. But you know, if you like this, and if you like this one, again, it's a map that you really should consider playing, because it just stands out as being a little bit different from many of the maps that we see on the workshop, and the standards are high enough to make it worthwhile considering. So Ajar can be pretty proud of their work, and I'm quite impressed by it. I'm quite impressed by it. I'm quite impressed by the Weld engine giving us a shape of a map like this. In terms of scores, I mean, it's okay. It's middly 3 for me, but I think gameplay is interesting enough to go to the 4. Aloma River by Jar. Next up, we have another one of those map makers that you're going to recognise their name. It's Wafthrudnir. This map is Valdivia, and Wafthrudnir, I keep saying it every time I review one of their maps. One of my all-time favourite creators. Right from the first time I saw their work, I knew I loved them. Now, this map uses a theme mix again, the Bay, the Cliff texture pack for Theme Mixer 2, the Australian coastal theme, and the Prior 4K theme, along with the Real Neutral LUT. We've got the intersection marking tool in here as well. Now, this map does suffer a little bit, just a little bit, and again, you're going to know if this bothers you or not. They started making it before Tree Anarchy became the norm, and once it became the norm, this was already mostly built with the old Unlimited Tree mod and the old Tree Lod fix and such. So you can see a little bit of popping with trees and stuff like that, and there will be a little bit of aesthetic draw distance issues and such like that we were used to back in the day, and now we are not used to because we've been spoilt with new updated mods. So yes, it's just one of those maps that you have to just say, well, does this bother me? If it bothers, and look again, vanilla bridges, okay. Yes, just shining. We've been spoilt with vanilla bridges. There's another one right there. Spoilt with vanilla bridges today. Some outstanding work. Yeah, Wafthrudnir has done a great feeling map here. The rail is excellent. If in terms of technical problems with the map, forgetting about that mod issue, this one little bridge here is a little bit too low. This one, okay. You know me, I'll highlight the one thing that's wrong with the map, and that's what I've done there. Yes, it's just a tiny, weeny bit too low. Little bit of scraping of the tops of trains. There's your start square. Yes, as the trains go under there and scraping it, and yes, the catenaries are clipping through the concrete. But yeah, if that's the biggest problem with the map, then you don't need to worry about the map, okay? This is a lovely detailed area, by the way. This is a little bit like a certain other pyramid map that we saw recently, mentioning no names, but we all know who we're talking about here. And this is a pyramid. This one is hidden in the jungle. Again, very nicely done work there as well. And we've got some hidden jungle walls here as well, which again, if you pull the camera back a little bit, the trees start to clip out a little bit and you can actually see them more clearly. But it's just one of those. If you are happy to run with the Unlimited Tree mod and all the older, the random tree rotation and all those bits and pieces, if you're happy to run with that, then you should be very happy to play this map. It feels absolutely gorgeous. It does. If you're all switched over, just give it some thought before you do play it. But it, for me, is a middle 4 pushing on towards a high 4 across the board. Valdivia by Wafthrudnir. That also gets the BonBonBingo seal of approval from me. One more map to come. Now, I feel a bit mean doing this, but it's one of those that I have to abide by the rules of the show, the self-made rules. This is Boston. You may have heard of Boston, Massachusetts, yeah? By Earl the Dead Cat. Now, the thing with this map is it did have a major technical problem. And I have to review the map with that technical problem in mind. But Earl the Dead Cat is a great creator. And when I say great creator, reactive. I love creators that will react. Notice the break in the rail there. Doesn't actually affect gameplay. Another little break there, because we are connected elsewhere as well. But see, the thing is, with this map, it did require some assets that weren't listed on the workshop. And there were one or two other minor technical problems with it. Again, all the technical problems were minor. Most of the problems were just missing assets off of the workshop. Earl the Dead Cat has fixed all of this. I've not gone and checked. I've not gone and tested. Sorry, I have checked. I haven't tested, so I can't say for absolute certain. But I have absolutely no doubt that everything is working perfectly fine now. And all of my grumbles are completely obsolete. Having said that, if I basically tell every creator what's wrong with their map and then let them fix the map, every map's going to be a 5-star map. So I always stick to the original review score. So this is going to score quite low in certain respects. Having said that, in terms of the detailing score, specifically with the detailing score, will be higher than what I'm going to show. And in terms of gameplay, I was thinking on 4 stars. So somewhere around the high 3-4-star mark is exactly what I would be giving this, possibly even edging into low 4. But I'm going to whack it, okay? Because here we go. Here are some of those roads that when I recorded the flyovers and recorded the review, you might argue, yes, some of these road changes are a little bit weird. We've also got some pillars on the road there as well. But again, they may have all been fixed out and sorted by now. I do not know. What I do know is that they have definitely fixed a lot of it. And for that, I say Earl the Dead Cat is a proud and strong creator. And they can keep making stuff for the workshop for as long as they like, in my opinion. We do have a little bit of one-way highway here that goes the wrong way. You'll see some gantries in a second. There we go. I'm assuming that has been fixed since then, but if it hasn't been fixed, then again, that's very easily fixed in game, isn't it? Just reverse the traffic. That's what you do. But yes, if you're looking to do a strong coastal build or looking to rebuild Boston, this map does feel just about right. It's going to score, like I say, just a little bit lower than I feel it really does deserve. But it's just one of those things that, yes, technically the map is broken, or was at the time that I reviewed it. But everything there is going to be a little bit or a lot a bit higher. Boston, Earl the Dead Cat. I feel mean, but it's just one of those things. I've helped them out. They've done the good job, and I am saying you should check it out. If you like what you see there, it's almost certainly a very strong map now. So go and play, go have some fun. And fun is what we like. And if you like doing things, maybe you should use the word of the day to prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. We'll be back on tonight at 7 PM for that live stream of the Anhaven Keys by Sidai. See you then. Have a great day.